Is the Republican Party that stupid when it comes to Social Security reform? All right, so I just got done watching my man Devin Carroll's video, and I love Devin. He's a good, I would consider him a friend of mine. If I was ever in Texarkana, I'd invite him to to get out a pint of non-alcoholic Guinness. I was taken aback at the way Devin presented this, though, in terms of Republicans, the proposal. I said, not so sure. Remember, a proposal doesn't mean crap until it gets out of committee, but I was taken aback by this. This was quite stunning. And I said, this can't possibly be. So then I said, well, let me look up my man, Andy Biggs. And I emailed Andy just a few minutes ago. I said, look, let's jump on a live stream if you want to talk about this. So the RSC, the Republican Study Committee, and if memory serves, and I'm almost sure it does, the RSC is the right-wing version of the Republican caucus. All right, so you got the Freedom Caucus. The Democrats have the Democratic Leadership Council, DLC, from which Clinton came. That's like the moderate version of the Democratic Party. Then they got the Progressive Caucus and Republicans. The Republican Study Group is always like the more right wing, all right? And then you have, I don't know, the moderate, they love abortion, Rhino Republicans and whatnot. So when I saw that this came from the RSC, I said, well, it's got to be right wing because RSC is notoriously right wing. And then even here, I was surprised by this. The RSC counts nearly 80% of House Republicans as its members, which I thought was pretty good, which means the MAGA people are making, slowly but surely, we're making strides within the GOP, right? Because the GOP is just basically worthless. On the state level, it's not, but there's still some issues there. But on the federal level, the GOP basically is worthless, that's for sure. And now that we got a lot more rhinos like Ken Buck and Mike Gallagher leaving because they basically want the Democrats to take over. That's what they're doing, literally what they're doing. The Republican caucus will be even more conservative, which all I want is an alternative to the Uniparty. I'm not sure the Republican Party will ever be that way, but be as may. So I listened to Devin, and then I'm reading my man Andy Biggs, and so Andy Biggs, let me show you what he says. The Republican Study Committee proposes 3 changes to Social Security. First, the RSC would modestly reduce benefits for individuals who are not near retirement. We're going to go into that. What does that mean? And whose career average earnings were over $85,000. All right, so this, I don't know what not near retirement. We're going to dive into that a little bit. Your career average earnings over $85,000. What does that mean, Republican Study Committee? Does that mean we take 40 years of earnings divided by your total 1040? Do you just take your Social Security taxable wages? What do you take? I don't know. We'll dive into it a little bit here. By the way, you know why that's stupid anyway? Who is the base of the Republican Party? Who's the base of the Republican Party? It's lower and middle income wage slaves, essentially, and self-employed people like me. That's what the base is. So the Democrats are the uber wealthy and the poor. The Republicans are lower middle class, lower middle income, lower end middle income, and wealthy or affluent, if you will, income earners who are, a lot of them are self-employed. So anytime you're going to reduce benefits for people who have $85,000 of your career average earnings, when the taxable wage for Social Security right now is like $160, that's a big red flag to me. Big red flag. Because that says we're going to punish our own voters. And again, this is Republican Party typical. We're going to punish our own voters. You suckers. You suckers. It just is mind-bogglingly stupid. Now, I haven't confirmed that, but this is Andy Biggs and what my man Devin said too. Individuals who are not near retirement. What does that mean exactly? Well, let's take a look. So the RSC budget would make modest changes to PIA benefit formula for individuals who are not near retirement and earn more than the wealthiest PIA benefit factor. The wealthiest PIA benefit factor, what is that? So your PIA would be what, about $3,800? I think the wealthiest right now is about $3,500 a month, $3,600 a month for your PIA. I don't know if that's what there's. I mean, PIA is your primary insurance amount. That's what your PIA is, the benefit you get at your full retirement age. So was it $3,600 a month is the wealthiest, I guess? And that doesn't include delayed earnings credits, but your PIA doesn't adjust for delayed earnings credits either. So it's not part of your PIA. Your PIA is what you get at your full retirement age. So this right here says earn more than the wealthiest PIA benefit factor. I don't know what that is. And then remember the bend points themselves, the third bend point is only 15% of your AIME. So, I mean, you're going to reduce that? I don't know what that means. No one knows what this means here. And then explain, please, who are not near retirement? I'm 53. Am I not near retirement or am I? I don't know. To also make modest adjustments to the retirement age for future retirees to account for increases in life expectancy. Freaking idiots. Dude, that's just so stupid. That's such a losing proposition. I don't understand. What are you guys, a bunch of Ben Shapiros running around? A bunch of Ben Shapiros? Oh, you freaking people, man. Finally, for these individuals, it limit and phase out auxiliary benefits for high income earners. Okay, so let's see what they got 384 in here, so let's see what that is. Again, the RSC budget does not cut or delay retirement benefits for any senior in or near retirement. So they got a link. No, they don't have a link there. So don't say what is a senior who is in or near retirement. Additionally, the RSC budget would promote trust fund solvency by increasing the payroll taxes through pro-growth tax reform. Well, I like that. Increase your payroll taxes. Got to have skin in the game. I got no problem with that at all. Pro-growth energy policy that lifts wages. So they're going to make it so we're going to have more growth on energy production. I like that too. I got no problem with that. Work requirements that move Americans from welfare to work. I like that. Regulatory reforms that increase economic growth. Okay, that's all good. But no one's going to focus on that, you freaking mind-boggling. Anyway, let's see, can I make this bigger? Yeah, so I want to see what this 384 says here, because we want to go 384. The RSC budget uses intermediate estimates. So remember, we got intermediate, low, and high estimates. Intermediate is 50%, low is 25, and high is 25. I'm not getting that here. The federally, so it doesn't say anything. This is why it's so stupid. Finally, it would limit and phase out auxiliary benefits for high-income earners. What is a high-income earner? Why would you propose this without saying explicitly? If you're, oh my goodness, I can't. It just is so freaking mind-bogglingly stupid. Why would you make a proposal that doesn't explicitly say who's going to be affected? So now everyone thinks they might be affected. You freaking morons. I know it's March Gladness. It's March Gladness. I'm trying to follow the Owen Benjamin model of being not angry but glad in March. Or not, I'm not angry. I'm not an angry guy. But just not, being glad, being content and grateful as opposed to being frustrated. But this is incredibly frustrating. March Gladness. That's what we're trying to do. But why would you leave that out there for everyone to say, oh, not near retirement at 60 years old? 58? What the hell does that mean? Increases in life expectancy. For whom? For young infants being born today? Or for people who are 65 years old? I mean, who? What's the life expectancy? So stupid. Hey, we're going to be, the RSC budget and spending task force cannot be more clear. We will not now or ever support cutting or delaying retirement benefits for any senior in or near retirement. That's not very clear, because what does near retirement mean? You freaking... the common sense, this is just really bad. I do like this quote from the executive director of the Social Security Board in 1935. The Social Security Act does not provide for everyone in need. It does not provide for those who can provide for themselves. It does not provide for those who are capable of working and would rather not work. But apart from these classes, we can be sure of providing for the American people an economic foundation for security in old age. I completely agree. Or if you're illegal, you shouldn't get Social Security. But they pay taxes into it. Yeah, because they're here illegally. They're breaking the law, so they shouldn't get Social Security. It's just that simple. Thankfully, the Republicans are citing the factcheck.org that says Democrats misleadingly claim Republicans would end Social Security. Why would you even cite people that don't like you? These Republicans, they're so dumb. Factcheck.org shows the Democrats are lying. Okay, maybe there's one thing they're lying, but 9 other things the Democrats are lying. The factcheck.org doesn't say anything. This is really bad, man. The Republican Party says as inflation increases, COLA automatically adjusts without congressional approval. That's what we don't want Congress to approve it, Republicans. So you're saying right there, hey, we want to get more involved in the cost of living adjustment for COLAs. You think that's going to be fun? Look at teachers in Texas retirement plans. It's based on the Texas legislature. And many teachers in Texas don't get anywhere near a cost of living adjustment equal to the CPI. They don't, because it's all political. We don't want congressional Democrats or Republicans in charge of your cost of living adjustments. And they gripe right here that we use CPIW. Right? And they say the problem with that CPIW is based on costs incurred by urban wage workers who represent only 30% of the population and earn more to accommodate a higher cost of living. Okay, so what are you going to do instead? So let's see what they want to do instead. It's under the preventing Biden's cuts to Social Security. Look, dude, Sniffy Joe's a clown. Everyone knows he's a clown. No one likes the guy. He's not a good person. He's not a good human being. His wife is even worse. Dr. Jill. Doctor. Dude, can we just be political for just 1 second? How do we win? We get votes. How do you get votes? By offering people what they want, more of what they want and less of what they don't want. Can you do that and still hold yourself accountable for not being lying to people? Yes, you can. And you already talked about it, raising payroll tax, man. A 50 basis point increase in payroll tax on both sides isn't going to break anyone's bank. It's just not going to, man. On top, let's just keep going here. This is at least they talk about that. Thank goodness. All right, let's keep going. They do say that Biden voted in 1983 to raise the retirement age to 67. Was it 83 or 93? I can't remember. I think it was 93 actually. Tax Social Security benefits for the first time. That was in 83. I know that. Delay cost of living adjustments to preserve the solvency of OA. So, I mean, at least you can go on record saying, look, Biden has done all this. We haven't. 100%. I got no qualm with that. Yeah, right there. 1983 Social Security amendments, which Social Security Administration regards as a major milestone in the legislative history of Social Security. Senator Biden voted for suspended auxiliary benefits to aliens outside the U.S. for more than 6 consecutive calendar months unless the beneficiary had resided in the U.S. for at least 5 years. Well, those days are gone now because the Democrats are, for some reason, they think that homeless people and illegal aliens run everything, and the Republicans are just too scared of their own shadow to be called racists and homophobes and all that stuff. It's insane. It's even worse. Now we're citing the Washington Post editorial board, who's saying they endorse certain Social Security retirement reforms, such as gradually indexing up the age currently 67 at which people may retirement. If you're using the Washington Post to validate your stuff, this is the Republican study group. This isn't the Progressive Caucus. This isn't the rhinos and the Republican. This is the Republican study group saying, look, even the Washington Post agrees with us. I don't want general fund transfers because one approach would be authorizing a general fund transfer without reform would do nothing to make the Social Security retirement program more sustainable. Sure, it would. Absolutely would, because you have money going in to make sure it's whole. This approach would effectively lock in enormous deficit spending that could expose taxpayers to more than $200 trillion debt. Oh, the Republicans were really cautious on spending when they were in charge. And look, a lot of Republicans want to give to Israel. They want to give to Ukraine. The NASA, the freaking military, the whole thing's just so stupid. I mean, then we just funded a whole bunch for look at all the trans stuff that's out there now. And then we're going to fund all these study groups in China to see how freaking panda bears poop on each other. It's freaking insane, dude. Then they say the Republicans, let's see, right here, we're over $34 trillion in debt with nearly the entire projected from 2019 to 2030 estimated, and the deficit rising from $984 billion to $3.29 trillion being driven solely by Social Security and Medicare shortfalls. What about the military, the Department of Education, Department of Labor, all that stuff? That's not part of it. Republicans, it's all Social Security and Medicare. Things that people like. I just want to keep pointing out. You give people what they like, and you take away what they don't like. Shocking. I know. That's how you win. A debt-financed general fund transfer compounds the economic threat that China poses as the second largest foreign holder of U.S. debt. How much U.S. debt does China hold, Republicans? How much? You want to take a guess? How much do they hold relative to our own debt? Want to take a guess? Oh, by the way, how much debt's in China? And by the way, how much debt is in China? Have you ever actually seen the debt that China's in? Appreciate them saying this. Applying the payroll tax to all earnings, as the Democrats want to do, result in the largest tax increase in U.S. history. And fail to make Social Security solvent. I completely agree with that. That's just idiotic, but pretty much it. And then I came over here. Their little short thing here is just pretty much the same thing. No specifics. Just this idiotic, man. We'd make common sense reforms to disability insurance to promote work, earn success, and human dignity. The RSC budget would convert disability insurance payments to a flat benefit structure that increases benefits for low-income workers, remove benefit cliffs. They expand access to private disability insurance, which, okay. But again, it's committed to preventing it right here. These include modest and delayed changes to the primary insurance amount. So is that really going to do anything? Because what Andy Biggs says here, the Republicans don't offer enough specifics to be precise, but based on Social Security actuaries' projections of similar reforms by my own guesstimates of how much savings are lost by protecting current and near retirees, I guess the RSC proposals would address perhaps 15% of the long-term funding gap. Yeah, that leaves a long way to go. So 2 chairs the RSC, at least stood up to congressional Democrats and Trump, but a 3rd chair requires a comprehensive plan that makes Social Security fully solvent. This is just mind-boggling. You're going to wade into these waters without specifics and allow yourself to get destroyed from all angles. It's on top of that to hurt your own people. Like me, I'm a highly affluent, I'm an affluent, self-employed individual. Haven't always been like that. Social Security has always been a big part of my plan, and I will continue to be so until I see something passes through committee. I would have thought the Republicans would defend their base, and of course, Republicans just aren't that bright. So as we sit here today, yes, Republicans are that stupid when it comes to Social Security. All right, love your thoughts. God bless.